Guys, how are you? Welcome again to the Lei Tai project. My name is Edgar Ruiz, your host, and today I have a really a good friend of mine, and I know you're gonna love him. He's Ryan from Lebanon. He's one of the he's the head coach right now in the Sanda team. He was a Sanda fighter before in 65 kilograms, and really for me, like having someone like him in my podcast for you guys, it's something amazing because now like we're talking about like international and professional fighter, someone who like you're gonna love his story. And I don't want to talk about that. I'm just introducing Ryan. Ryan, thank you very much, Ryan.
Hello,
How's it
brother.
in
Nice
Lebanon,
to
man?
see you. Nice to see you again. Well, actually, here it's 10 p.m. It's late at night. I'm
Thank
on
you.
another side of the world. Thanks for having me in your podcast.
No,
I
thank you.
think we're gonna talk about a lot of interesting topics today related to Sanda prior to the World Championship that you're gonna host in Texas, which is
Yes.
pretty exciting. What do you think? It's gonna be a good one.
No, man, I'm so excited now. I'm actually I'm training. I really want to do it again as an athlete. I want to fight.
Yalla, why not?
Yeah, I know, but let's see. Life is different right now. I have my wife, my
You have
kids.
your wife and your kids. Yeah, same here. So,
You know what I'm talking about. But
uh,
let's see. I'm training, and it's gonna be awesome to have you here, guys. Like to all the world here in Texas. You're more than welcome, and it's gonna be awesome to having after 2019 with the pandemic
yeah,
situation.
that was a very long break.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very competitive competition, and I think many people is gonna be like hungry, for the gold medal. So
There,
it's gonna be fun, man, and awesome.
there's gonna be. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of surprises
A lot
this
of
this
yeah, many
this
junior
year.
kid, yeah, many junior fighters. They're jumping to the adult. So let's see, man. It's gonna be a lot of new things. So Ryan, please, can you tell us about you? Like, who's Ryan? Where you born? How old you?
Okay, so I am 32 years old now. Born and raised here in Lebanon. Lebanon is in the Middle East. It's a very small country. So I was doing a little bit of research today. Lebanon is 10,000, almost 10,500 kilometers squared. Texas is 600,000. So Lebanon, compared to Texas, we are a country. You're not. We're very. It's a very small place, but we have a lot of talented people you cannot imagine. Like not only in Sanda, like Lebanese people here are raised with a lot of struggles, and you have to fight for a living and all of that. There's a lot of controversy and problems and corruption and all of this. And we're in an area in the Middle East. A lot of people and countries want like to own Lebanon, kind of. So you are born with the fighter instinct. This is for sure. And we are very known in striking, in Sanda, in Muay Thai, in Thai boxing. Like Lebanese people are tough fighters, man. Okay, we didn't have the chance to prove it often because we don't have support from the government. Like we used to travel at our own expense and all of that. So it's very hard. And we don't have professionalism here, meaning you don't get paid to represent the country. A lot of countries have this as well, but some countries have the privilege of this. So you get paid to train and compete. This is very important to
Yes.
compete at high level, especially in Sanda, because don't forget that Sanda, there's only one international federation. So all the tough and strong fighters compete in the same place before turning professional. In other sports, we're not gonna name them now. There's like 4, 5 world championships. So they get divided, so it's a bit easier. In Sanda, if you're a world championship, well, sorry, if you're a world champion or even a world podium medalist, colored medalist, uh, you're considered one of the best in the world officially because there's only one federation. You already know this. but it's very important to point this out. So yeah, here we didn't have the chance to shine up until 2019, but that was a very big step for us. We're gonna talk about it in detail now.
Yeah.
Uh, as you mentioned, I used to compete at 65 kilograms. I started training very late. I started when I was 17 as a hobby and just to have fun with the guys. So I didn't even know I was actually training kung fu. My coach, my first coach, is a very good friend of mine. He's actually the team manager now.
Okay.
He manages all the national teams, juniors, seniors, all of that. He used to name the class Street Fight. He didn't say it was Kung Fu. Why? Because it's a little bit cool, you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Marketing.
yeah, for marketing. So we were training Wushu Sanda and Kinda actually without punching to the face. And the first tournament we went there, we thought it was street fight, and then he gave us the traditional kung fu apparel, you know, the suits. So we're like, "What are you doing? Where are we?" He's like, "Yeah, I've been lying to you. This is kung fu. Go compete." So I competed when I was almost 18, 17 and a half, something like that. I competed at senior. I was around 85 kilograms, and I got knocked out cold in the final. So that was a very humbling experience for me. I was the top dog, if you want, in the gym, and I got knocked out the first competition. So I took that to
Very
another
serious.
level. I took it very serious. I started focusing on my diet. I started training well, all of that, and I just shifted my life
Yeah.
to this because of this incident. Because I got knocked out. It was a proper KO. I slept for like 10 minutes. Okay, so. And that was when I decided to major in physical education and conditioning for athletes and fighters because we lacked this this aspect of the game here in Lebanon. We didn't have people were who studied specific training for athletes, you know, specifically for fighters. So I wanted to be the first one to obtain this degree, and I focused on it. And ever since then, like I got I was only winning the fights here, and I jumped from 80 to 90 kilograms. I started dropping all the way to 65. I was that unfit,
What
you
was,
know?
yeah, I remember like because you and I are like the same age,
Yeah,
height, like I'm 170, no, 167 meters, well, centimeter, 1 meter
yeah, meters. Yeah, 1
67.
meter 67. Yeah, I'm
I
around
think,
69. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, right. And you are okay, you're like maybe 2 centimeters different.
almost
And
the
you
same.
you was fighting in 85 kilos, 90 kilos.
Yeah, but
Wow.
locally, not internationally. I was fighting locally
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, and the first opportunity I got to compete international, I wanted to actually prove myself. I was not selected. Okay, and my name was not even mentioned to go. We're actually, I told you, we're in the Middle East, but we were able to compete in the European Championship because our president of the federation, he is half French, so we had the permit to compete in the European Championship.
Okay.
Now we only compete in Asia, so Asia and Mediterranean. So back in the day, I think it was 2011 maybe.
Uh-huh.
I've been training for a year and a half or 2 years. I was undefeated here in Lebanon, and I wanted to prove myself. So I told them, let me go fight, and I pay everything, my own expense, my ticket, my hotel, and everything. So they're like, okay, we don't have a budget. Let's go. We'll accept. I went to compete 65 kilograms. It was my first international tournament. I compete the first draw. I got the Russian champion. He's a Dagestani.
Oh,
Yeah, I think I won. I'm not sure. I won a match maybe. Then I was gonna compete against him or something like that. I got TKO'd by a middle kick. So again, first international fight I lost. I got TKO'd, and he ended up winning the tournament. He beat. It was his first. Imagine, it was his first international tournament. He won the silver medalist and the bronze medalist in that category. The bronze medalist was a French guy, was a guy from France, and the silver medalist in the world, I mean, was from Turkey. So this guy was competing the first time internationally in the European Championship. He beat the silver medalist in the world and the bronze medalist. So even that, I processed this. I'm like, there's a lot of hidden talent. So we used to only focus on the top three. So we take the world championship, let's say 2009 world championship, we focus on the top three, we study them and we train. I'm like, no, there's a lot of hidden talent. Literally anyone can be a world champion, and I'm gonna focus on this. I was not a world champion. I wasn't even Arab champion.
Wow.
Imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even Arab, no, not Mediterranean, not European, nothing. I only won the Lebanese championship and the belt multiple times, and I got maybe silver medal in the Arab. So my results as a fighter I was decent, but my weight category was extremely hard. I competed at 65. That was, you competed in this as well. It's a very hard
Yeah.
weight category, one of the hardest.
Yeah, 65. I remember I competed in 65, and was that time when the like you can cut 10 kilograms and then you can gain 10 kilograms
In
and
one
and
day.
yeah, and me my stupid idea was like um okay, he's gonna respect the weight. I was 64 kilos, and next day he was like 70 kilos. Like
75. Yeah, definitely.
I was like,
Yeah.
man, come on, man, too much. And yeah, it's one of the hardest weight divisions actually in any sport.
But yeah. You have speed, you have endurance, you have knockout power. So it's a very hard category. Yeah, I used to cut around 8 kilos, and I bring it back under 24 hours. So yeah, now they changed the rules. You cannot cut as much as before, and there's testing, and there's specific medication that you're not allowed to take, and all of that. So I was assigned the national team coach, me and another coach. We co-train the team. He's called Eli Reyes. He is a very tough fighter. He was one of the best fighters here in Lebanon.
Who again?
Uh, he is called Eli Reyes. We have like
Eli.
6 Elis in the national
Yeah,
team.
it's your.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so he is called Eli El Reyes. He used to compete at 75. So, like the president told us that I want a good team. You are free to do whatever you want. I will give you the Lei Tai. I will give you everything. Just give me a team. We're like, we know what we can achieve. We are gonna train for free. So me and Eli, we coach the national team for free. We don't get paid. And we started training. We took the team. Let's say first 2 years we did not compete international, and then we started competing in the Mediterranean and so on. So first Mediterranean championship, the team we worked on, which is like 5 guys and 2 girls. That was the only focus. Okay, we don't even have a replacement. So other countries, if the first person in line gets injured, they have the silver medalist who is as good as the first one almost. For example, in Iran, you have like 3, 4 fighters who are ready just in case a fighter loses a fight or does not get weight or whatever. They have a replacement. If he gets injured, they have a replacement. I will tell you a story about Iran because we went there as well. So we went to the Mediterranean Championship. It was a team cup. So the team with most points wins the cup. We got maybe like 7 gold medals, I guess. Like nobody lost, which was insane. It was the first Mediterranean. So the president was like, oh, okay, we have something there. And we were like, okay, our guys are doing good. They're doing good in training. Let's keep pushing it. And we started to
Ryan.
excel.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. I have some questions.
Let's go.
Your story is awesome because like now you're 32, I'm 37, and like and you are like right now being one of the head coaches or the head coach of the team is not easy. I remember when I was 20 something and I had the opportunity to be the coach of the Mexico team, the junior team, and it's a lot of responsibility. Like being an athlete and being a coach is really it's really hard, because it's a different thing. But right now, like I remember in 2019, Lebanon, they made a really beautiful job. Like, what's the name of the brothers, the sister and brother? Is Barbara? No.
Yes, yes, Barbara. The Rasi brothers. They're
Yeah.
four. Two girls and two guys. They're all national team.
Well, well, they like I really, but the brother, the name, the guy who fought with Iran,
Alex at
Alex.
70 kilograms.
Like
Yeah.
I was like amazed because like, hey man, this is a young kid fighting with one of the best of the
19.
best.
Yeah. He
19.
won. He won 4 fights.
Yeah. So like fighting with the best of the best in Sanda, like I can tell like the Chinese killer. And like and I don't care if he got second place, but man, like fighting with this guy from Iran, wow, like it's just like something like I can even dream in. But again, like one of my questions for you is, what was the motivation? Like what do you get like, or what was the reason you say like, hey, I'm gonna stop training and I want to be the coach. I'm just gonna focus on my team. We're doing a good job. Like, what is the secret? Because you said something at the beginning. We're a small country, and look what are we doing. And honestly, guys, like I'm in US. I've been in the Mexico team and I've been in the USA team, and of course, both countries they have their good things. But like as you said, like we're a small country. We don't have the support, but we have this. You know what I mean? And we're going there. We're gonna fight and we're gonna win. But what pushed you to be what you are right now? Like you are that coach. How difficult was like for you to be the team leader, and like how was it? Because now you were my friend yesterday. Now you're my coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, the biggest setback here was that we were two very young coaches. Me and Eli were both the same age. Okay. So like people didn't accept this. Old coaches and stuff, people in the federation and stuff like that, because they're like, these are two unexperienced. That's what they called us. Coaches, they're very young. Like people have more experience than them, and so on. The president was like, no, I know what I'm doing. These two are very qualified, and they work together very well. So this is very hard to find. Literally, I used to give. Let's say I'm giving the training session today, or Eli is giving the training session today, and I'm
Mhm.
off. I'm not joining. Let's say because of work or whatever. The next session, I would literally be giving the continuous workout of Eli without even knowing. And we are so in tune together. We were in tune together that we were basically teaching the same thing in continuous pace. The team was doing really good. And man, we had really good guys, really tough fighters. I'm gonna give you an example. Michel Zammar, who is the heavyweight, he is originally my student. Okay,
Oh,
so
the
I
the
coach him.
the heavyweight,
The
right?
heavyweight. The
Yeah,
heavyweight. He won
really
the
good.
world championship. He got the gold medal.
Yeah.
Okay. Michel Zammar lives in the mountains, and he did not have a car at first. So when he wants to train in the national team, he has to go down to the city. That's a 2-hour taxi drive, okay, or a
Wow.
bus drive, let's say. He works out from 8 till 11 national team training. At 11, he goes back home. He gets home like at maybe 1 or 2 a.m. and he has to wake up the next day to go to university and then work. So our guys work because they're not professionals. I already told you this. They do not get paid to train. They work, they study at university or at school, and then they train and compete. So our guys are now top 5 in the world while doing all of this with zero budget, zero national team budget. This is very important.
Wow.
Like we literally do not have a budget. For example, let's take example of the remaining top 5 countries. We have Iran, China, Vietnam, and India. Okay, Iran, for example, they have an annual budget for the national team of $5 million.
My
Okay, we
God.
went there, we trained there.
Man,
It's
I
insane.
thought I thought they the last I think I knew it was like they were having a $1 million budget. Now you're telling me
Yeah,
five
yeah,
million.
yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
amazing.
because they sent to the World Championship 8 fighters. They got 8 gold medals. So they in Sanda they beat China.
Yeah.
Overall, they are second, but in Sanda they are first. So we went there. When I was a fighter, we went there for 2 weeks. And before the World Championship, we sent our guys there for 1 week. Sorry, just to spar. You know, when you are sparring with world champions and you're actually doing a good job, this is a very good motivation before you go. And
Oh
I'm
yeah.
very, yeah, yeah. And I am very, like their conditioning coach is a very close friend of mine. I told him, like, please send me a review of each guy. I want to make sure that the guy I'm sending or the girl I'm sending uh, is perfect. Why? Because the president paid the expenses of the flight and everything.
Okay.
Okay, he paid from his own pocket to send us. Yani he trusted us to that point. Imagine.
Yeah.
He was like, before, when we have meet before the world championship, he's like, guys, I only have budget for 3 from the federation for 3 fighters only. We're like, president, do whatever you need to do. We need to send 5 guys and 2 girls. This is the best team that ever trained in Lebanon. Okay, we told them they're better than even when we used to compete.
Yeah. Wow.
So he's like, okay, I'm gonna cover the. He paid from his own pocket. And the day we wanted to travel to the World Championship, a revolution started in the country, and they closed and shut down all the roads. Imagine, the same night we were about to travel. So we walked to the airport. We couldn't take a car because the roads were blocked. We walked to the airport. We went there. First night in China, the team did not have hotel rooms because we landed at 2 a.m. So they're like, let's save up to $2,000 since the guy is paying from his own pocket. So we stayed in the lobby. 5 a.m. with no sleep, the team went to weigh in. So these things you cannot train for.
Yeah.
Either the athletes have this in themselves to be tough as nails, tough as a rock mentally,
Yeah.
without us. So we have this in our culture. That's the different thing here.
How
Is
do
that
you? I'm sorry. That
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
go.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. So you just say something that I always I really like to talk about in every podcast. The mental strength, because I can tell you, man, like I can be a good athlete. I trained in China for many years. I spar with the Chinese champions, and then when I go back here, it's like a damn, man. I lose a simple fight. What happens? Like, was the like? Is there any psychological thing I did? What I did wrong? This and that. How do you? What is your, I don't know, the secret, or not a secret, right? But what's the key point for your mental strength? Like, as you say, man, we've been in China with no room, this and that. We came from this, we came from that, but my athletes and me as a coach, we did this, and they
I'm
fought
gonna
and they
tell you.
win. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I understood your question. The main thing that changed mentally for the coaches and for the team, like for the team spirit, was trust. We never had that. Like, we used to have jealousy in the team. We used to have corrupt coaches. We used to have people who wanted to travel just to go visit the country. So he tries to get a sponsor, for example. He goes there, he loses the first fight, and he continues the rest of the trip as a tourist, for example. You know what I mean? So We changed all of this. The team understood that if you want to travel and represent the country, you have to literally go and succeed in like all the tests we put. So we
See.
did a lot of tests. It was very hard for them to, literally, if I want to send you to compete and represent Lebanon, you cannot lose, not even a round, for example. You have to come every single training. You have to send me reports of your conditioning training every single day. So we did not leave them alone. Literally, we were with them during the day, on the phone, 24/7. And I used to text my fighters like 2-3 times every hour. For example, did you finish training? Give me a result. What did you do? So they felt like they're important. One, the team spirit was insane for the first time ever. Like in the European Championship, Alexander Rasi, who competed at 70, the guy you mentioned,
Yeah.
he lost in the Mediterranean Championship 4 months before the World Championship. Okay, he lost to the guy who won it. He got bronze medal. Imagine.
He fought with the same with the what's the name
He
of this
fought
guy?
with he fought with the French.
Ah,
It
okay,
was in
okay,
France, in Marseille. Okay, so
okay.
we went to France to compete in the Mediterranean Championship. Alexander Rasi lost. Okay, we had the team meeting later on. I was like, Alexander, if you want to go compete in the World Championship, you have to fix your mistakes. You have to give me 200% because you just lost. So if I want to say, if we're gonna send you, you're gonna do 10 times better. He used to like, if he gets tired in training, he used to fall down, try to take a break. He's still 19 years old, you know?
Oh, the energy, bro.
Yeah. So we were very hard on him. Like I used
Yeah,
to beat him maybe like that. I was that hard on him. And then
yeah.
he started committing and he saw like that the team, they're giving 110%. They're waking up. I used to make them wake up at 5 a.m. to try to get used to the time in China, you know?
Oh, yes, yeah. Mhm.
Details like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that was it. So he changed mentally. We fixed his mistakes. He got mentally tougher. His conditioning was insane, and he won 4 fights. He fought 5 fights. He lost the final, obviously,
Yeah,
at
yeah. I was
70
there.
kilograms, which is insane.
Yeah, yeah.
So he
I
got
was
silver
there.
medal.
Yeah. And then he fought
He
Mosan.
Mohsen Saifi, yes,
Yeah, so that
he's
man.
a close friend to me and Eli as well. So
Yeah,
when he
yeah,
beat, Alex and he came to give us the
yeah.
salute, he's like, "Sorry, brothers, but, I have to." We're
Hey,
like,
but
"Fine."
let me tell you something. Do you know the Chinese fighter, 60 kilogram, Wang Fangkung?
Mm,
Well, I used to train with them in Beijing, and I remember I had the chance to spar with him. Man, he's one of the uh, toughest guys that I ever punched in my life. Of course, he beat my ass, of course. But
of course, yeah.
man, but the opportunity to spar with those guys, man, I felt after that day, I felt like, man, I can do anything if I like. I
Yeah,
can do
I tell.
anything, and I can teach anyone about like how this guy really punched my face and kicked my ass, and you can do whatever you want after that. Why? Because as you said, man, he fought the toughest of the top. You know, even professional speaking. Right now, he's an MMA fighter. He's
Mm,
really good. He's knocking everyone out. One of the other guys that I really love is Ayman from Egypt. So
Ayman,
yeah,
yeah,
like
he competed 2 weeks ago in MMA, but he lost.
yeah, yeah, I know, but damn, like, well, what I want to say is, Alex, your student, he now that experience with the silver medal at his age, man, it was amazing, and I think like this time, if he coming to US, I think he gonna make a really good job, honestly.
He pumped up the team. Like he was the first fighter from Team Lebanon to win the first match. Okay, and he fought the Armenian champion.
Okay.
He won the first round. He lost the second, and then he won the third. So even that was very hard. Yani he competed for 3 rounds and he got the first win. So like the rest of the team got hyped. Let me mention something. In the
Yeah.
World Championship before that, in Russia, like two
Yeah.
years before, in 2017, we had only one bronze medal. So even that was a progress for Lebanon. We used to go compete and get nothing. For the last two World Championships, and we won the one that I was with you. We were in Indonesia, I guess. The one
Yeah.
before that, or
2015,
Malaysia,
Indonesia.
2015, Indonesia. We got one bronze, and then in Russia we got one bronze again. You know,
Yeah.
so we were only getting one medal. So our main target was to try to win two medals, regardless of the color. That was our target. We won five. Imagine.
Yeah.
So Alexander Rassi, like he threw what do you say? He threw gasoline on the fire. So
Yeah.
all the team got hyped, and then we started piling up the wins one by
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, let me tell you something, guys. Like, I know if you're watching in YouTube and or you're listening in Spotify, I know these guys, and I'm so glad to have friends like them, because I remember every fight in like Indonesia. I was there as a coach, as an assistant coach. One of my students, he fought there, and I remember every fight from you, like the motivation, that energy, your face, yelling on them, and it's very amazing. But let me tell you something that you really have, and and I can tell this. Many countries, they don't have this. Man, you're a family. Like,
Yeah,
I see Lebanon team, and I can tell, like, these guys are a family, man. Like, they're trained together, they live together, they sleep together. Like, as you say, like Michelle, like he had to travel for 2 hours to train with you. He was sacrificed many things of his life, and now he's one of the top three in Sanda. Which Sanda is, many people, they think like Sanda, Chinese kickboxing, man. Come back, come to Lei Tai and fight.
I'm
Try
gonna
one.
give you an example.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
care if you're an MMA fighter and jiu-jitsu fight. No, no, no. Come and try to fight in a Lei Tai and a platform, and then you can talk. Because being one of the top three in Sanda in heavyweight is one of the most difficult things that you can ever experience. But my thing is this: Lebanon for me is, I'm always like, I'm always, when I say Lebanon, is like family. It's the description I have. It's family, because I see Barbara. He really, I remember he was doing a Tai Chi, and then he becomes Sanda fighter, and I remember many things in Indonesia, and I made a really good friendship with her, and I start following her in Instagram, and then I saw he was training hard, and then become a Sanda fighter, and then I think she right now she's studying in Europe,
yeah, yeah. She lives in
and
Switzerland now.
yeah, and then she fought there or something, and you were
She
like,
won. She
yeah,
has she has the nationality because of her
okay.
mother. So she competed there and she won the gold medal and she got selected in the national team. It was during at the end of COVID, if you want, and I
Uh-huh.
was cornering her on the phone. So she put
Yeah,
a speaker and phone in the corner, and I
it
cornered her
man,
here
that's
from
awesome,
Lebanon.
man. That's why, guys, if you like, if you're listening, if you're driving, let me tell you this: Lebanon description family. And to all the Sanda fighters, the new Sanda fighters out there, the new generation out there, if you see these guys in every or many or international competition, whatever, guys, go ask for them. They are really good guys. Make a good friendship with them, and study from them, because they are a really exception country. As he said, like, we're a small country, but we have all the love, all the passion. I don't care if we don't have money. We will do that. We get the money, and we're going to compete, and we're going to do our best. Man, one of the things that you already that you have, it's you have, like, competing with Russia, uh, training with Iran, and other things in Europe. That's one of the coolest thing, because like we in America, we have the Pan American Games,
Mm.
and right now we had the last one in Brazil, and unfortunately for the situation, the economic situation, many countries, they can't, and well, America is very big, but to me, like in America, Brazil is the top one. Brazil is right now is one of the countries that I can tell next that this year in USA they going to be in the top three because they are really doing a good job. USA, we have really good fighters too. Mexico, good really fighters. Many countries, but guys, you have something like you have that spark, that unique spark, and I don't know how to explain, but you have that like every time I see if like your competition or your training or when you like in Instagram or Facebook, it's like I can see your happiness and your guys because of that sacrifice. What you can tell about the sacrifice?
Look, listen, I told you, I'm going to give an example of another country or part of the world. Let's
Uh-huh.
say Dagestan, okay? You know,
Okay.
Dagestan in all combat sports, these people went through war, they have poverty, they have to sacrifice and all of this. And it's in their culture. If you're a fighter, you're like, you're recognized as a fighter, everyone respects you, you know? We have the same thing here. Uh, the only difference here is that we have national team fighters who are very wealthy. That's not the case. It's not poverty. They
Yeah.
are very wealthy. But خلاص, if you are good in sports, like in your community, in you with your friends, with your family, this is very important. We call it البطل, like the champion. That word is very important here. Okay, and the spirit, the team spirit, as you mentioned, the family spirit. We used to finish training, we go together to have dinner, and they go home after that. So every week they eat together, they sleep together, they train together, they travel together, they help each other with
Everything.
everything. They
Yeah.
train, you know, this
Yeah.
is very important. So we were giving them trainings on WhatsApp, conditioning preparation on WhatsApp. Okay. If they have questions, they send me videos of the drill or whatever. We didn't have that before, so we had that now. We have coaches who train uh, uh, almost the same. The
Yeah.
coaches are very close together. We have support from the federation. That's very important. Like the federal president and the vice president, uh, they were like, do whatever you want, we will help you to the maximum, you know.
Yeah.
And we were fortunate to send them to Iran, but it was only for a week. But for the mental side of training, that was good. I'm gonna give another example. Michel Zammar, the heavyweight world champion, uh, before the before 5 months before the world championship, he broke his hand in sparring, in training. So one, this shows you how hard training was. Literally, if you do a mistake, you might get knocked out. We give them full protection, but they have to go all out.
Yeah. Yeah. Of
Like the
course.
seven,
And
yeah, yeah, the
heavyweight is
70,
different. Yeah.
yeah, and the 70-kilogram guy is gonna fight with the 140-kilogram guy. And if I tell you you're gonna fight real fight, they're gonna fight a real fight. I get judges and we do a proper fight. So they were tested every single week, physical preparation, mental, Sanda, and everything. They
Uh huh.
competed every 2 weeks here. And I used to bring, let's say, مثلا, uh, kickboxing fighters with wrestling fighters with Muay Thai fighters, and they used to train together to get better at this. And like they were motivated to the point, like I'm gonna say it again, the country was in revolution and the team was not here, you know, to fight corruption. They were fighting in the world championship. So it was a way for them to represent the country and to hype the people here. And like, we support you, we're there, we're gonna raise the flag and all of this. And
Wow.
man, we have crazy stories.
Wow. Wow.
Michel, first fight that Misho fought, he was versus the Tunisian champion. The guy is 95 kilograms, super fit, super ripped. He chose to compete at heavyweight. Okay, he can drop to under 90. He competes at heavyweight because he thinks that he's endurant and all of that. For the people who do not know, Michel is almost 1 meter 90 something, and he has a lot of belly fat and side cushions and all of this. But if you see him on the speed bag, or if you see him in training, you think he's like 70 kilograms. He's super fast. He's super endurant. He was actually losing the first round, And you know, now in modern Sanda, the coaches have like a small TV on the side with the
Points.
scores of the
Yeah.
judges. So we knew he was losing the first round by maybe 5 points. So I'm like, let him win it. If he's still the guy is still pushing and still attacking. I'm like, don't get hurt, lose the first round. He's gonna gas out. Let him gas out. And
Yeah.
then at heavyweight, 3 rounds, he won the second, and he won the third. He was beating the guy, and I don't know why the other team did not tell their fighter to slow down just to be able to fight the second and the third.
Yeah.
So he won that, and he fought the Russian champion. I don't know if you know this. The Russian champion is now Eagle FC MMA champion. Eagle FC, the one in the States of
Come
Habib.
on. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And
Wow.
he fought in Dana White Contender Series.
Which
This guy,
category?
open,
In
open weight,
on the
120
heavyweight,
heavyweight. He's from Dagestan.
90
He's
plus.
called Kuniev.
Uh-huh.
Misho beat him by 1 point each round, only 1 point. Okay, the guy is very tough. He has knockout power. He has more power than Misho. We worked on the smart side of fighting to steal the points by the low kicks. He pushed him and he threw the low kick, because in Sanda, if you are
Yeah.
holding your opponent or touching your opponent, there is no points. So
Yeah.
we were literally stealing the points and he won. And then he won the final. You mentioned something earlier about like people who do not know about Sanda, who compete in kickboxing or in Muay Thai or
Yeah.
whatever. They think that, oh, okay, Sanda, it's only 2 minutes, it's easy, and you only fight 2 out of 3 and all of that. One, the pace of Sanda is very fast. It's insane fast.
Yeah.
Okay, you do not have time to rest.
Yeah.
If you
Very
clinch your
explosive.
opponent, you already know this, and people who are watching know this. For the people who do not know, when you clinch your opponent, you only have 3 counts for the break. So you do not have time to wrestle, go down, have a break, stand up. That's
Yeah.
why in MMA it's 5 minutes for professional. There's a lot of that time during the fight. In Sanda, you have to go really fast. So the pace is very hard. In Sanda, like, listen, I have professional fighters here who compete in Muay Thai, you compete in kickboxing, you compete in professional MMA. They all do good in all of these. Yani, if you're a Sanda fighter, literally you are a complete fighter because you are taught how to be a smart fighter. This is
Yeah.
very important.
More experience.
More experience. You know how to find the weak points of your opponent. You know how to study your opponent. This is very important.
Yeah.
At high level, all the fighters have power, all the fighters have experience, all the fighters have stamina, they all are tough. Who gets the win? The guy who outsmarts the other opponent. So in Sanda, if you want to train Sanda to transition into MMA, it's a very good base for you, and it's shown now in UFC. A lot of Sanda people who have background in Sanda are doing really good in
Yeah.
UFC now. They're
Yeah.
excelling.
Actually, I have a lot of friends. They've been like, they start doing MMA, and they say like, man, to me, it's easier. The only thing is I just to train the basic in jiu-jitsu. I'm not talking about, I never fought MMA. I tried training one day, but I don't know. It's not what I like. But I can see many people like doing Sanda and doing MMA is super easy for them, because we have a lot of catching, we have a lot of the tryout, the wrestling part, and
Yeah,
it's
and you
more
have
like
fast
easy.
throws. You take
Yeah,
down your
throws.
opponent with zero
Yeah,
effort. Yeah, yeah.
and Sunday's very explosive. As you said, Sunday's very explosive. It's like, what is the difference when we saw the Muay fighter and Sanda fighter? The speed, even like
Mm.
when we spar with boxers. I remember when I had my school before in the ring, uh, when we spar with the boxing team, because I used to have boxing champions from Mexico, US, Texas, like really good for boxers, and they always say like, man, no, like we can find you because you always like moving,
Move.
and we are just waiting,
Exactly.
coming, and that's the reality. Like, I think every combat sport has their own thing. and I
like an
inviting you.
advantage.
Yeah, and I inviting you to try this sport. Like if you really don't know about Sanda, try to find if your city in your city they have some like kung fu or something, because honestly guys, honestly these sports will help you a lot. If you're MMA fighter, I don't care from which country, if you're MMA fighter, just look. Ryan just mentioned something. The champion from Eagle, the FC, is from Dagestan. He's a Russian guy. We can see right now in UFC many. We have this girl from China right now is a champion,
Mm.
Wei Li, and we have more Chinese fighters, Sanda fighters. They are going up. They're in the top because they have the easiest way to find, as you say, that weakness in every kick or every punch, and we have that in Sanda. But Ryan, one thing, what now as a coach, are you interested in the like fight again or something, or you're okay as a coach right now? What do you want, man? You're so young, man.
Man, I
You're a good
honestly
fighter,
miss it.
man.
I honestly miss it. I am really out of shape now. Like
Come
I used
on,
to compete at 65. I'm around 90 now.
really?
Fat, stuff like that. Although it's my profession, yeah, like I coach people for a living. I train when I train every week, but like when you cut so much weight for so long, and like the season, Sanda season in Lebanon is very long. You literally compete every 2 weeks. You
Oh,
compete in Sanda, you compete in traditional Twishu, which is wrestling. We compete like they bring us the when I used to be a fighter, I used to compete مثلا 1 week with the judo national team. We wrestle. The next week with kickboxers. The week after with Kyokushin karate. Like we have something called kinda, which you are not allowed to punch the face.
yeah.
So they bring us the guys from karate and we used to fight them. So I used to compete every 2 weeks maybe. So the season is very long. I have to be on weight the whole season, like 9 months out of 12 for a couple of years. So I'm like, when I retired, I was like, and I retired because I wanted to get married. I wanted to focus on my job to make money,
Yeah, 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 of
Uh,
course.
yeah, so I couldn't train how I wanted anymore. So I retired. So for me to stay in the field was to start training athletes to compete in Sanda.
Yeah,
And it turned out that I was a better coach than I was a fighter, you know?
yeah, I can understand,
Like
man.
my
But
student is a world champion now. I
yeah,
didn't even win the Arab championship. So, you
yeah,
know?
I understand. Yeah, I understand what you mean. And I know one day I saw that. Well, you love cars. Can you tell us about your your other love, your other passion?
Yeah, like my other passion is racing. I coach high level race car drivers now
Ah,
in karting and rallying. Like this is another field in Lebanon where people excel. Everything macho and tough, like fighting and racing. Man, we really have. It's unfortunate that we do not have support. Like in Dagestan, they represent Russia, so in a way, Russia takes care of them. You know,
yeah,
although it's a small part of Russia. Here in Lebanon, nobody, sorry, gives a damn. You know, like there's so much corruption that nobody cares about athletes, except for the federation, which I'm grateful they were able to help. So we were the support for the team. And as I mentioned, like Misho, 5 months before the World Championship, he broke his hand. So his hand was broken, and he was still training every single day without using his right hand. We
yeah,
tested his right hand in the Mediterranean Championship, and he also got gold medal. So that by itself was insane. Uh, yeah, I think like if people listen to our story before the World Championship in the States, they're gonna be hyped.
man. I'm so hype
Like,
about this because well, the one of the first podcasts that I have, it was one of the Brazilian guys, Lucas Sorin, 60 kilos. He's really awesome. He well in Spanish, the was in Spanish, and then the Argentinian guy, Carrasco, Anael Carrasco. He's the heavyweight champion before, even in the Sanda Cup. and
I think I know, but he used to compete a very long time ago.
yeah,
Yeah, I know him.
and you can hear the stories and this one, and everyone has, but like, you motivate, that's, and actually this is what this is one of the reasons that I really want to, because I really want to help people to understand, like, hey man, if you really want to be one of the best and one of the badass guys in this sport, man, you need to kick your ass, because even myself, man, I've been in the Taulu team, the Sanda team, and I'm talking about national, like in the Taulu team, in the Mexico team, and then Sanda team, the USA team, and training with Chinese. And I can tell you, man, it's very, very, very hard, because as you said, you need to save money, you have a job, you need to go to school, you have a regular life, man. You're not getting paid for this. It's because
Yeah,
you
yeah,
love,
yeah.
because you have a passion. And the reason I'm doing this is because, one, people deserve to know you, to know people in this sport, like how hard it is to become someone in this sport, and the sacrifice, and how the beautiful sport that we train, and yeah, we have our lives. It's very different, it's very difficult. Like I always said, in US it's gonna be very difficult to make Sanda, like, because we have a lot of, scholarships here. Is football,
Yeah, and wrestling and
wrestling.
baseball. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so US, like, honestly, that's why many people, they prefer, oh no, I wanna train Muay Thai, because they're gonna help me to be MMA fighter. Or I'm going to do wrestling in the school, because in the future I can get a scholarship, and then I can
Yeah.
jump to MMA and be a professional. And hey, they're not wrong. They like, they make sense. But unfortunately, US is gonna be very difficult to make Sanda to be the sport that we want. Coach Lee, Coach Lee, right? Man, he's
Yeah.
making a really good job, like with athletes, with everyone, including me. Like he's one of the coolest guy and coolest coaches that I ever met in my life. He gave me the chance, he gave me the opportunity, he helped me, he trained me too. He's a really good guy. And this year, I know, like, the everything they doing for the USA World Championship, it's gonna be awesome, man. Like this guy is not even sleeping. He's not even sleeping because he's working hard, because they want to offer to the world one of the best world championships. And that's why, guys, like, I hope you can come. I hope you can, like, we can go and eat a little bit, and talk, and take some pictures, whatever, because Lebanon need to be here, man, because you're one of the top three right now. And the other thing, before we leave, what is the experience to be in the Sanda Cup?
Man, don't get me going on this. You know that because of COVID, we did not go to the World Cup, the last one. So we literally lost 5 extra world medals.
But
Imagine. We,
what's the name of
we already, yeah, we
Eli,
already went to World Cup before
with
with
Eli, right?
Eli. Yeah, the
Yeah,
guy who got bronze medal, and before that, George Eid. He competes at
yeah.
80. He also went to the World Cup, and he actually got a professional fight in Sanda in China, and he beat the Chinese. He also got this. So,
Eli.
so yeah. No, George.
George. Yeah,
George Eid.
his father is
No,
coach,
see,
right?
yeah, we have two George and three Elise.
Yeah,
So we
man.
have two George. One is 85 kilograms. He got bronze medal. His father is the vice president, and the other one is 80 kilograms. He got bronze medal as well. See, so we have two Georges with two bronze
Oh man,
medals.
now I'm confused. So
You
who's
gotta get confused there.
so George, the 85 kilos, his father, his name is
Now,
now, yeah, we always in Instagram text, and he's a really nice guy. I had the
yeah, he's the
chance.
vice president.
Yeah, I had the chance to talk to him in Indonesia. We made a really good relation, but for some reason, now I'm confused. So George is now son.
His now son. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So this guy had to work 3 times as hard as the others to get selected because his father is in the management of the federation. We're like, we're gonna kick your ass to make sure that
Yes,
nobody says, "Ah, he got selected because his dad
because
is in
oh
there."
yeah. And
Yeah.
he's a really
He
good
knocked
fighter.
out everyone. He is undefeated in his weight. Hence, he got selected, and nobody said a thing.
No, I know. I really, I hope I can have now, in in the future in this podcast. Also, Eli, actually, with Eli, we've been trying to get in touch in the right moment, but I know for some reason the time in Lebanon and the time here in
Yeah,
US is
yeah.
8 hours, I think, or 10 hours.
Eight, give or take, 8 or 9, depending on
Okay,
the
so
the place.
so sometimes they're like, "Hey man, I'm free." Oh man, I'm working. Hey man, I'm free. I'm sleeping. But I know one day we will have it. Hey man, one of the last questions I have. How do you see Lebanon this year? Like in like, what is your prediction for Lebanon? Don't be humble.
Listen,
Just do
no,
it.
I'm not gonna be humble. I'm gonna be honest.
Yes.
Like, because of the crisis situation here, the economic crisis,
Yeah. Everyone.
I have one guy in Canada, two in Switzerland, one in France. Literally, I have no one anymore. Like, I mean, the people who got the medals in the last World Championship.
Uh huh.
So the world champion we have is now in Canada. He migrated. He switched to Canada. He's there. And we have the Errasi brothers and sisters in Switzerland. We have George, the son of Naum, in France. So they all left. I don't know what I'm still doing here, but yeah. So like, our top guys are not here anymore. We have a plan to try to work with them online, give them the instructions we want online, and they get to train in these countries. We're gonna try to go to the States. Again, we do not have a budget, and this time it's even harder because the currency collapsed. So yeah, it's very hard. And on top of that, it's very hard to get a visa now. You know, the future is what do we say? We are not sure what happens.
Yeah.
We're trying to get a sponsor, or
Yeah.
to try to get the team here to train or whatever, but it's still in the unknown.
Yeah. Damn, bro. I know many countries have this problem because, yeah, being honest, I don't like to talk about this, but yeah, with the pandemic thing and well, the Russia,
Politics.
yeah, all that
Yeah,
thing. I know maybe many countries can make it because, as you said, because the passport, because government and government, but
listen, top countries. We're not gonna name them now, but this is another reason for upcoming fighters to push and train from now till the World Championship, because a lot of strong guys are maybe gonna miss it. So
yeah,
that is an opportunity to try to
yeah,
grasp.
other
You
countries,
know,
yeah, yeah, it's something that I was
that's
talking
why I
to.
said it's gonna be full of surprises.
Yeah, it's gotta be one of the things that I was talking to one of my friends. Like, I know, like in Taulu, it's gonna be very, very hard because I know many countries, like many athletes, they say like, okay, I'm done with my career, I'm retired, but now they coming back, and because they want to retire in US, so it's going to be the new generation against the old
The old
generation.
generation.
Yeah, and in Sanda, it's gonna be more the new generation with many, maybe not one of the best countries. You know,
Exactly.
it's
Yeah,
going,
yeah,
as
yeah,
you
yeah.
said,
$100%.
many surprise gonna happen,
Many
brother.
surprises.
The last thing, something that you want to say before leave. I don't know, any beautiful message you want to leave to the new generation or to our,
I want to. Yeah, I want everyone to take Lebanon as an example, to get motivated to train, to push hard, to focus on Sanda, because if we were able to do it, literally any country, any team in the world can do it. As we mentioned, we did it with no budget. We did it with a country that is collapsing economically and in a revolution. We did it with zero budget and like just hard work, purely
Yeah,
hard work. And just like you said, like just for the love of Sanda, you know.
yeah, the passion.
The passion. They all compete in Muay Thai. They all compete in all these different in MMA as well, and they make money out of MMA. But they focus on Sanda. When
Wow.
you have time now to focus on Sanda training, just to get the Sanda reflexes, to work on the high Lei Tai, not to get cornered and all of this. If
Yeah.
you push hard from now to the World Championship, yeah, you're gonna hurt some feelings and you're gonna get a medal.
No, man. No, honestly, one of the like every story is beautiful, but this one is really motivate me a lot. Because
Yeah,
as you said, like you as a country, and I'm sorry, like for small as a small country, as you said, making that dream. Many countries, big countries wants to get in that position, and you made it. And but again, with that description, with the family, with that family, because I think
yeah,
that I'm always tell my students, if you are in my school or my academy, you're part of a family. That's the first psychological thing that I teach them. You're part of a
yeah.
family.
Someone has your back,
Yeah, yeah,
regardless.
yeah, someone has your back. So if you need help, we're here. So
Yeah. The guys warm each other up.
yeah,
They cry if
yes,
teammate loses.
yeah,
All of this. Yeah, this is part of a family. You're
yeah.
right.
So that's the first thing. And then like what I ask him is, the only thing I want from you is to train hard. Is to train hard.
Yeah,
Try to be the best, be the best version of my, like, better than me as a coach. I have really good athletes. I have two Pan American champions, three Pan American champions, uh, junior champions, world athletes, world class athletes. We have really good team, but with COVID, Jesus Christ! Which right now, look, right now I'm training in my garage. In my and I used to have a big school, the Lei Tai, the professional
I know.
team,
Yeah.
yeah, with everything. Actually, this here's my before, and right now
Yeah, I
we're
know.
training in
This
my
is
garage,
yours.
man. And I don't feel bad. It's just like I'm not going to stop doing this because I really love this, and because I know there's people and there's kids who has that dream to be one day the best of the world as you. And that's why, like, this podcast, man, it's gonna be in my favorites. And I promise you, when like every time I go out and run a little bit, I'm going to be listening, because this kind of things is the things that I'm 37-year old, okay, and okay, I have my business, my family, whatever. But this kind of things is something that I want to keep motivate, because sometimes you feel like you're in the floor, and you really don't know that you're really not. Like, there's more people
Yeah.
sacrificing more than you to be in the top one. And Ryan, honestly, thank you very much for taking this invitation to be in this podcast. I hope this podcast, if you can help me to share in Lebanon, I hope this podcast can be watched and can be listened for more people, and follow you. I don't know, where can we find you on Instagram? What's your Instagram, your Facebook? Where can we find you in Europe?
Europe. Yeah. So the federation account is wkfleb, Wushu Kung Fu Lab. Okay, so at Wushu Kung Fu Lab. This is the main Instagram account for the federation. And my account is coach.ryan.lb. If I'm glad to have new followers of Sanda, and I'll follow back. I like to study everyone across the world, get to know Sanda fighters and coaches. Uh, yeah, so I'm glad that I was your guest. Thank
No,
you for
thank you.
having me, brother.
No, thank you.
Uh, I want to end by saying that you have to keep sports clean. Uh, all my team, the people who got medals, they got all tested. They're like, what's happening? What are these guys on? From zero to top five. So they all got tested. They're all negative. Thank God, everything is clean,
Thank
and
God.
so you can get This is another motivation. You can get the result by
Eating
staying
well.
clean, eating well, not taking steroids, not taking anything bad for you. And I hope to see you in Texas, brother.
Man, you have anytime now. You have
Hopefully, fingers crossed,
Yeah, you have my house
in
there
the
if
World
you want
Championship.
anything, man. Maybe if I don't compete, I'm gonna be there with my kids, with my wife, and for sure, man. I
We're
want to see
gonna,
you guys. I want to see
yeah,
all
yeah,
my
we're gonna. If we go, we're gonna be
yeah.
insane as a
Hey,
team. Trust
thank
me.
you very much,
Hopefully,
man.
fingers crossed.
Yeah, no, of course.
Thank you, brother.
I hope to see you here. Hey, remember, no matter if you just bring one or two fighters, man, you deserve to be here. Honestly, you
Yeah,
deserve to
yeah.
be here because Lebanon now is like, man, you're top three, man. So I really like, even if it's one or two fighters, you deserve to be here. I hope to see you here fighting, man. And
Hopefully.
and take me as one of your teammates. I don't care. Like right now, I don't have a flag. I don't care about flags. I think we are family, and I'm going to be there. Like if you need something, I'm gonna be there for sure, man.
That's the wushu spirit, brother. We at the end of the day, we all strive for the same thing, and we are all family across the world.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man,
Thank
and
you,
thank you,
brother.
guys.
See you soon,
Yeah,
hopefully.
yeah,
Bye.
yeah.
Good.
Just give me a
Have a
second.
good rest of the day.
Yeah, give me just a good second. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening and watching this in YouTube and Spotify. Please follow Ryan on Instagram. He's a really good motivation in this sport. And as you like, just as a little bit of the everything we talk, he's one of the like he was an athlete and now he's a coach. And believe me, he was I believe in miracles, and I think this is one of this because and I'm talking in a good. He's very blessed. I think Lebanon is very blessed, and no matter about the situation, but as he said, like if we can do it, you can do it. It's just about spirit, passion, and love in what you're doing. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good day, and I hope to see you in the next podcast.